Hey guys, my name is Ryan.
And my name is Miska.
And welcome to Overwatch Central. So way back in beta we made a list of what features we'd like to see changed, removed or added into Overwatch. And now that Overwatch has been out for a while, received countless awards and a lot of attention from all over the world, there are still some things that this game could really use. Please keep in mind that this is our list. And whilst we do keep community opinion in mind for the most part, we will of course have people that will agree and disagree with us. Comment below with your list or just one or two suggestions if you want, and make sure to drop a like if you're enjoying the video. Anyway, let's get started straight away.
With this list, we're going to be both looking at the game from a casual standpoint, but also a more serious and competitive one. We want to try and cater for both so we don't have to do two separate wish lists, so to say. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna start the list with spectating ranked games on the number 5 spot. Now this is not only just normal ranked games in competitive play, but maybe even also tournament games in-game. This is something that a lot of other very competitive games actually have, both so you can spectate your friends in ranked, watch their game back and maybe give them some feedback after the match is over, and obviously this would have a 30 to 60 second delay at least. But yeah, it'd be a nice way to integrate the esports scene a bit more into the game, for people to learn from their friends playing ranked, and a lot more. Now it would also be good to have some in-game stats together with this, so that the people spectating could see just a little bit more stats than the people that are actually playing, allowing them to get a better grip of the match as a whole. We had a little bit of that during the Overwatch World Cup, but seeing in-game support for that would be amazing.
One thing that I'd be super excited to see, which we did see a little bit of at BlizzCon, is forward story development with the comics and the animated shorts. Up until now, a lot of the story was based around the sort of previous backgrounds of a lot of the heroes, where they came from, the dawn of Overwatch and stuff like that. At BlizzCon with Sombra showed us the first story part that takes place in the present. Not only that, we had a bit of a tease on where the animated short may go with Zarya appearing at the end. Now that Overwatch has been out for some time, it's sort of set the tone pretty well in the background, what the world and the environment is like. So I'd be super excited to see the story move along with new content that's added into the game. Maybe that's why the First Strike graphic novel was cancelled, since that would have been looking at the past rather than the future. But maybe because the more obscure the sort of death of Overwatch originally is, the more they can play with in terms of creating story. So in short, get it, because of the animated shorts, I would love to see more story-based stuff that's happening in the present, and new content coming out alongside it as well. Because not only is Overwatch a great game to play, it also has fantastic characters and a pretty good story as well.
Next up is a little bit similar to the last one, but also very different and much broader, and that is a replay system. This is something that has been requested for a long time, and that we've heard that Blizzard have at least plans to implement at some point in the future. And it would just be absolutely amazing for just capturing that one funny moment in quick play and just compiling it into a funny montage or whatever. But it could also be very useful for looking back at full comp games from different angles and point of views to analyze your own gameplay and improve, and just see everything from a different perspective. It would also be a fantastic tool for us content creators to record our previous games in case a recording was corrupt, or if we just didn't record a game that we really wanted to record. There are extremely many uses for this, and it'd also be a great way to get sort of replay coaching going, as that is something that is getting a lot more popular over time here, and is very big in MOBAs, for example. This is a pretty complex and heavy system though, but since Blizzard have actually given it some attention in the past and have actually addressed the question at least a little bit, I'm feeling positive towards it actually happening at some point.
Our penultimate point has to do with a ranked queue, and specifically the SR difference changes and not being able to play with friends because of the skill rating difference and stuff like that. Anybody that ends up in Masters is extremely limited to what they can play and who they can play with, and there are a couple of problems that are shining through that just need to be ironed out. A good example is that you can't queue with somebody, if you are say for example 3.7k rated, you can't play with a friend that's about 3.1, but you can end up with somebody on your team that you're not queued with a 3k rating. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, and the new stay as a group feature that's added into the game, which we love, is causing players to be grouped up that are too high or too low skill rating, and it kind of makes the whole thing a little bit of a problem. Overall, it just makes the feature worthless in some cases. So whilst they just need to sort of knock out the kinks, it's not a major thing, it's still something that's very important. Because ultimately, it doesn't really matter what rank you are, but if you're not having competitive and most importantly fun games in your sort of skill rating, then it doesn't matter if you're Grandmaster or Bronze, you're just going to stop playing.
And finally, on our number 1 spot, we have PvE content. Now you might be like, wait, what? Overwatch is basically an online only game. So why would you ask for PvE content? PvP is what it's all about, and that's kind of like the normal Overwatch, and that's what ranked, quick play and so on are all about. So a PvE game mode or storyline, missions or whatever is a discussion that started way back. It actually began when Overwatch was still in beta and even just announced, and people asked if there would be a story mode essentially. People loved the lore and the backstory and the characters right from the get-go and wanted more to fill out the blanks with and so on. Now more recently we had Junkenstein's Revenge. This was a taste of what PvE Overwatch could be like, and the response and the feedback on that game mode and that brawl was extremely overwhelmingly positive. People loved it, there was a Reddit post about it basically every single day after its release. A lot of people enjoyed hunting down all the achievements, playing it on stream with various friends, in different types of challenges, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun overall. And even this was basically just a PvE wave by wave sort of arena setting rather than a full-blown story mode. So something as simple as this was so good, meaning that an actually fully expanded PvE game mode or content or just any sort of aspect or expansion even of the game could be absolutely amazing. This is number one on our list because this is something that both Ryan and I really want, but on top of that it has been heavily requested. Now I know that there are gonna be some of you that go, wait, but there are some things that are just broken with online and normal Overwatch right now that we need to fix that might be higher up on the priority list. Yeah, but those are more about changes and tweaks, and this is more about things that Overwatch really needs long term to survive and stay relevant and stay fresh. So that is why we have put this on our number one spot, but yeah, feel free to tell us otherwise in the comments below and let us know what your number one spot is.
And that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. Again, drop down in the comments what kind of stuff you would like to see added into the game. Change, some heroes being buffed, nerfed, new maps. What kind of stuff are you looking forward to for 2017? Until next time, take care. We'll see you then.